WTA Finals, Coco Gauff delivers horrid serving display in opener, loses after 17 DFs. Coco Gauff had a rough serving day in her opening WTA Finals match and Jessica Pegula took full advantage of it, beating the younger compatriot 6-3, 6-7, 4, 6-2 in 2 hours and 15 minutes of play. The match started in a turbulent way, with each player dropping their serve twice through the opening 4 games. Pegula then stabilized on her serve and won the first set after claiming her third and fourth breaks in the 5th and 9th games. At the start of the second set, Gauff stabilized on her serve and went on to open a 5-3 lead. But then, the reigning French Open champion failed to serve out for the set in the 10th game, as well as in the 12th game. However, the world number 3 still managed to force a decider after winning 3 consecutive points from 4-4 in the second set tiebreak. Just when it seemed that the momentum may have switched to Gauff's side, the 21-year-old got broken by Pegula 3 times in the decider and started her WTA Finals title defense with a loss. Gauff hit 17 double faults. During the match, Gauff hit a stunning 17 double faults and allowed 18 break points, of which Pegula 9 converted. In the third set alone, the 21-year-old American sprayed 5 double faults. Since Jasmine Paolini lost to Aryna Sabalenka earlier today, the Italian will be Gauff's next rival. On the other side, Pegula will meet Sabalenka in her next WTA Finals match, in what will be a rematch of the 2024 US Open Final. The desert air in Riyadh carried tension thick enough to slice through with a tennis racket. The lights of the WTA Finals shimmered like a crown waiting for its next queen, but on the tournament's opening night, Coco Gauff's usually fiery brilliance was doused by a torrent of unforced errors and, more astonishingly, double faults, 17 of them. What was supposed to be her confident title defense began instead as a haunting night of lost rhythm and growing frustration. For a player known for her poise under pressure, this was something else entirely, a meltdown that left both fans and commentators rubbing their eyes in disbelief. A night gone wrong. Gauff walked into the arena as the defending champion, the face of youth and promise, and arguably the hottest name in women's tennis. She had spent the year refining her game, her forehand steadier, her court coverage still breathtaking, her serve once a lethal weapon capable of exploding past even the best returners. But against her opponent on this fateful night, everything that could go wrong did. From the very first game, there were warning signs. Her first serve percentage hovered in the 30s early on, her toss erratic, her timing off by millimeters but punished by miles. The crowd murmured as her second double fault came before the match had truly begun. By the end of the first set, she had already committed 9. Every time she walked to the baseline, the crowd seemed to hold its collective breath. You could sense her internal battle, a young champion trying to wrestle control from nerves that refused to obey. The serve, her foundational weapon, had become her worst enemy. Her opponent, composed, patient, almost surgical, capitalized ruthlessly. She didn't need to hit winners. Gauff's serve gave her points for free. The weight of expectation. Gauff's rise in tennis has been meteoric. From her breakout as a 15-year-old prodigy who stunned Venus Williams at Wimbledon, to her 2023 US Open triumph, her story has been one of resilience and maturity beyond her years. She became the face of the WTA's next generation, the new symbol of the sport's global future. But with greatness comes gravity. Every match now carries the weight of expectation. Every missed forehand becomes a talking point. Every shaky serve a cause for concern. The WTA Finals, an elite gathering of only the top 8 players, is the kind of pressure cooker where even the smallest technical flaws can spiral into disasters. The difference between a smooth service motion and a double fault is a flicker of muscle memory, a breath too long, a single thought too loud. And on this night, those thoughts were roaring. After the match, Gauff admitted in her press conference, voice calm but eyes weary. It just wasn't there tonight. I didn't feel my rhythm on serve at all. I tried to adjust, but the more I thought about it, the worse it got. It was a rare moment of vulnerability from a player who usually thrives in chaos. The anatomy of a collapse. To commit 17 double faults in a match is more than a technical problem, it's psychological. Gauff's motion looked rushed, her toss drifting slightly behind her head, forcing her to compensate mid-air. The first serve, normally a thunderous weapon clocked in the 115 to 120 miles per hour range, began missing long and wide. When she slowed it down to find rhythm, it clipped the net. By the second set, you could see her confidence unraveling with each second serve. The dreaded yips, that invisible gremlin in every athlete's mind, had crept in. Her coach's expressions on the sideline said everything. Disbelief, frustration, then helplessness. In tennis, coaching from the stands has its limits, and this was one of those nights where no amount of tactical advice could save a player from herself. Even when Gauff found flashes of her usual brilliance, the lunging forehands, the laser backhand passing shots, they were drowned out by the ghosts of her serve. The final scoreline, 6-4, 6-3, barely reflected the turmoil of the contest. It wasn't the margin that shocked, it was the manner. Fans react, from shock to support. Social media exploded almost immediately. Clips of Gauff's errant serves circulated within minutes, each one accompanied by captions of disbelief. Tennis fans, who had hailed her as a future multi-major legend, now expressed concern rather than criticism. 17 double faults, that's not Coco. Something's off, wrote one fan on X, formerly Twitter. Another echoed, everyone has bad nights, but this felt like she was fighting herself more than her opponent. Even former players weighed in. Rennie Stubbs tweeted, Coco will bounce back. Serve issues are mental more than mechanical at this level. The best thing she can do is forget this match completely. The psychology of recovery. The good news for Gauff is that she's been here before, not this exact nightmare, but adversity in different forms. She's weathered collapses, criticism, and tough losses with remarkable composure. That mental resilience, the same quality that carried her to a Grand Slam title at 19, might once again be her saving grace. Her next matches in the group stage will be crucial, both for her tournament survival and her confidence. The WTA Finals format gives players room to rebound. One bad night doesn't end a campaign. What's important is whether she can mentally reset, strip the pressure off her serve, and rediscover the easy rhythm that made it one of the most dangerous weapons in women's tennis. A lesson in vulnerability. In a sport obsessed with perfection, nights like these serve as reminders of tennis's raw human core. Even the best can crumble under invisible weight. Even champions misfire. Gauff's 17 double faults won't define her, but how she responds to them might. Because somewhere behind those unforced errors lies the same fierce competitor who told the world after her US Open win, I try to carry myself with grace, but I also fight like hell. That fight, bruised but unbroken, will have to resurface now.